Alright, next guitar we're going to do is going to be a Purpleburst. This is a Purple Heart back with a figured pine type of top. Not 100% sure what the figuring is here. It's an incredibly beautiful piece of wood, some really heavy figure. And since I've got the Purple Heart back, or stained purple top, I'm going to make the figure a little bit different this time. What I'm going to do is put a purple base first. Then I'm going to take some black and go along the corners. I'm going to leave the center clean with just purple. That way I get a lot more lightness to pop through. Kind of like what you're seeing with those Les Paul Purplebursts. I really want the purple center to be kind of a white purple and have it darker going out. So this is really an interesting guitar body. This Purple Heart was incredibly hard. It actually ruined a router bit. It's probably one of the densest woods I've ever worked with. Really struggled with it. Ended up hollowing out a couple chambers in here to lighten up this body. This guitar should have a really interesting tone since it's got a really hard back and somewhat more of a softer top. So I'm going to start with the purple here. Got my trans tint purple. So then while the top is still wet, what I want to do is get my black and feather the edge here with a clean rag. That way the top is wet, it'll get more of a feathered look. It won't look as hard, it won't look like a cut line. So get my black here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to feather the edge. So that way now I've got a little bit darker edge here, but I'll still have my purple. So then what I'll do is I'll come back with my purple and feather the purple around this edge. That way it bleeds in a lot better. And I don't have that hard line. This is essentially painting like with watercolors. So I'm going to get a clean rag, pick up all the excess here. It's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to take the black up on this side, spot it in, go more for that teardrop-ish type of shape. See the line's a little bit hard over here. Just spot some of this in. What's nice is once you get that line established, you can go around on the outer and really get it much darker. Just making sure the coloring is looking right. It's looking pretty good. Hit the center with a purple. Again, just to wash out any of the black that may have gotten in here. My rag's pretty clean from the black here, so definitely got a good darker outer and a lighter inner. What we'll do is let this dry for 24 hours. We'll sand this down. I'll put one more coat of purple on here. We should be good. Top's looking pretty outstanding here. Purple looks really nice. The black actually turned a little brown because the purple. Got some okay feathering over here. Looks probably a little bit better on this side. Next I'm going to take some 320, then move up to 400, and then finish with 600 and sand off a little bit of this. Alright, so now that we sanded off, I've got my purple. I'm going to put another coat of purple on. But what I did with this purple this time, diluted the original mix by about half. So I added about double the amount of water. I'm just going to feather it a lot into the side here. Knock down some of that black. Make sure I get the fading correctly. It's looking pretty outstanding. Got some really deep coloring across this. Got a nice darker outer. It's actually faded in nicely with the sanding and adding the same purple across. It's got a lighter center. It's looking pretty good here. Next I'm going to take a dry cloth and just pull out any of the excess water that's sitting on the top so I don't get any water stains. Make sure it's all absorbed in. So I pulled just a little bit of color out, but make sure that it's not going to get any blotchiness anywhere. Looking pretty good. We'll let this dry for 24 hours. We'll scrape off any of the binding that's got color, and we'll put a coat of sanding sealer on it. Alright, here we are after the stain has dried. It's been about 24 hours. I'm going to take this outside and put about 4 coats of sanding sealer. This really looks outstanding now with these 4 coats. Just use some basic sanding sealer and really happy with the way this turned out. Guitar looks great, looks beautiful. I'll let this dry and put a couple coats of lacquer on it afterwards here.